My Heart Belongs to the Giant Bat Lady by TheSaladMann. The air in the cave thickened with the coppery tang of my own blood. Her nails had carved shallow furrows across my shoulders. Warm lines crawled downward like slow rivers tracing their way to the small of my back. I tried to speak her name, though I had never learned it. My voice emerged hoarse and small, barely audible against the low rumble rolling from her throat. She tilted her head the way a curious predator studies prey that has only just begun to grasp its mistake. Crimson curls framed a face no longer softened by invitation. Her bat-like snout had lengthened slightly. Nostrils flared wide to drink in my scent. Her eyes had shifted from molten gold to black pits ringed with thin scarlet irises. They caught the faint glow of the cave fungi and flung it back into sharp, needle-like points. I pushed against her chest. My palms met muscle beneath velvet skin, unyielding as seasoned oak. She did not budge. Instead, she leaned closer until the leathery membranes of her wings brushed the stone walls on either side and enclosed us in a living tent of darkness. The heat of her body pressed me down into the furs. Her heartbeat thudded against my ribs, strong and deliberate, twice the pace of mine. I felt it through the thin fabric of her bodice, that slow, inexorable drum that spoke of hunger long restrained. She lowered her head. Her breath moved across my throat in hot, deliberate waves. I flinched when the tip of one curved horn grazed my cheekbone, leaving a faint sting. "You came so willingly," she murmured. The words rolled out in that same velvet timbre, yet now every syllable carried teeth. "Most men fight the pull a little. They bargain with themselves. They pretend the song is only wind through the pines. You walk straight into my arms like a moth that has already chosen the flame." I twisted my head away. My neck muscles strained. Her hand caught my jaw with casual strength and turned my face back towards hers. Long fingers curled around my skull. The claws rested feathered light against my scalp. Yet I knew a single flex would peel skin from bone. She studied me, the way an artist studies unfinished work, deciding where the next stroke should fall. I should have run when I first glimpsed the wings folded against her back. I should have remembered the old prospector tales. Loggers found in the high country with their throats opened and their eyes still wide with wonder. Instead, I had let her voice wrap around me and let her touch burn away every scrap of caution. Now the cave felt smaller. The glowing fungi dimmed as though retreating from what was about to unfold. Shadows thickened in the corners. I imagined shapes moving there, other eyes watching from deeper tunnels. She shifted her weight. One powerful thigh pinned my legs. Her tail, unnoticed until now, curled around my ankle like a living rope. The spade-shaped tip, ridged with small, backward-facing barbs, tightened just enough to remind me that escape was no longer worth asking about. Her free hand traced the line of my collarbone down to my sternum. She pressed there, feeling the frantic thud beneath. A soft, approving sound rose in her chest, almost a purr. "Such a strong heart," she said. "It will taste sweet when I reach it." I bucked once more, pure animal reflex. My fist struck her ribs. The blow landed solid, yet she only exhaled a small, amused breath. Her wings snapped outward again. The membrane stretched taut. A sudden draft stirred the furs around us. Dust swirled. Tiny motes glowed briefly in the fungal light, then faded. She caught both my wrists in one hand and forced them above my head. Stone met my knuckles, cold and unyielding. Her strength was effortless, obscene. I felt the vast difference between human muscle and whatever ancient engine drove her limbs. "Do not waste yourself struggling," she whispered. "The more you fight, the faster your blood races, the hotter it becomes. I prefer Her tongue flicked out, longer than any human tongue should be, black and glistening. It traced the pulse of my neck in slow, deliberate circles that left wet trails behind. Each pass sent a contradictory jolt through me, terror laced with the fading echo of desire. My body still remembered her earlier caresses. It still betrayed me with shivers that had nothing to do with fear. She felt the tremor. Her lips curled back, exposing the full length of her canines. They curved inward like sickles, designed not to tear, but to trap. I tried to speak again. Please. The word cracked in my throat. She laughed, low and liquid. The sound rolled through the cave until it seemed to rise from every shadow crevice at once. Please, she echoed. Such a small word for such a large request. Did you say please when you crossed the stream? When you took my hand? When you kissed me and begged with your body for more? She released my wrists, only to slide both hands beneath my shoulders. She lifted me, as though I weighed no more than wet canvas. My back left the furs. She settled me against the cave wall, seated with my legs splayed uselessly before her. She knelt between them, towering even on her knees. Wide red curls spilled forward, curtaining us from the rest of the cavern. In that private darkness, her face drew close again. I smelled iron, musk, and the faint sweet rot of overripe fruit. I can make this gentle, she said. A lover's end. A sigh, a flutter, then darkness. Or I can make it last. Her claw hooked the collar of my shirt. One slow pull parted the fabric from throat to navel. Cold air met skin. Goose flesh raced across my chest. She traced the line she had opened, studying the shallow red scratches already welling. A single drop gathered at the lowest point, trembled, then fell. She caught it on the tip of her tongue. Her eyes closed in pleasure. A rumble vibrated deep in her throat. Delicious, she breathed. Fear seasoned, just the way I like it. I lunged sideways, scrambling for any purchase, any chance to crawl away. My fingers found only stone. Her tail lashed out, coiled twice around my waist, and yanked me back. Breath exploded from my lungs. She pinned me once more, this time face down against the furs. One massive hand pressed between my shoulder blades. The weight drove my ribs against the floor until every inhale felt stolen. Her wings settled over us again, blotting out the last of the fungal glow. Darkness swallowed everything except the heat of her body and the slow, deliberate rhythm of her breathing. She leaned down. Her breast brushed my back through the torn remnants of lace and velvet. Her mouth found the nape of my neck. Teeth grazed skin and tested pressure without breaking it. Yet, I felt the promise in every careful scrape, the certain knowledge that she could sever spine from skull with a single bite. I will tell you a secret, she murmured against my ear. Her voice had dropped to a register that vibrated through bone. Every man who has lain with me believed himself the first to touch something divine. Every man learned too late that divinity has appetites. Her tongue followed the groove of my spine downward, vertebra by vertebra. Each lick left a cool trail that burned a moment later. My muscles locked. I could not tell whether I strained to escape or arched towards the contact. The confusion sickened me. She knew it. She fed on it. When her mouth reached the small of my back, she paused. I felt her inhale deeply, drawing my scent into her lungs until I thought she would pull the air from my body entirely. Then she bit. Not deep, just enough to puncture skin. Pain flared white-hot. Blood welled. She lapped at it in slow, luxurious strokes that turned agony into something worse, something that blurred the line between torment and craving. I sobbed once, a broken sound I barely recognized. She shushed me the way a mother soothes a child. Her hand stroked my hair. Gentle now, almost tender. The contradiction tore at me worse than her teeth. Hush, love, she said. It will not hurt much longer. She rolled me onto my back again. I no longer had strength to resist. My arms lay limp at my sides. Blood trickled from the bite on my lower back, soaking into the furs. She straddled my hips, settled her weight, and pinned me utterly. Those vast wings remained half spread, their edges brushing the cave walls in soft, leathery whispers. Her horns caught stray glimmers from the fungi and threw them back in dull red sparks. "Look at me," she commanded. I obeyed, because there was nothing else left. Her eyes filled my vision, black lakes rimmed in fire. Inside them I saw myself, small, pale, already fading. She smiled. The expression pulled her lips back until the gums showed dark violet against the white of her teeth. "You are beautiful when you break," she said. Her head descended. I felt the real bite at the joint of neck and shoulder. Teeth sank deep. Muscles parted with a wet sound I would never forget. Pain roared through me, blinding, deafening. My back arched. A scream ripped free, only to be muffled against her shoulder as she pulled me closer still. Blood flooded her mouth. She drank in long, greedy swallows. Each pull sent a fresh wave of cold through my limbs. The world narrowed to the rhythm of her feeding. Suck, swallow, breathe. Suck, swallow, breathe. My heartbeat stuttered, tried to match hers, then faltered. Vision dimmed at the edges. Sounds grew distant. A drip of water somewhere deep in the cave. The faint flutter of other wings far away. The slow crackle of my own blood against her tongue. She lifted her head at last. Crimson glistened on her chin and dripped onto my chest in warm patterns. She licked her lips, careful and deliberate, savoring every drop. Her eyes had changed. Again, softer now, almost regretful. "I always mourn the quiet afterward," she whispered. "The moment when song stops and there is only silence." My chest rose once more, shallow and irregular. I tried to speak her name again, or perhaps only to beg for the end. No sound came. My throat worked uselessly. She bent low one last time. Her lips brushed my ear. "Sleep now, love. The forest will keep you." Her teeth found my throat again. This time she did not drink. She tore. A bright, hot burst, and then nothing. Darkness rushed in, fast and complete. The last thing I felt was the gentle stroke of her hand across my cooling cheek, the soft croon of her lullaby fading into stone. The cave held its silence afterward. Somewhere beyond the waterfall, moonlit still silvered the stream. Somewhere deeper in the woods, an owl called once, mournful and alone. The bat lady rose, folded her wings against her back, and stepped out into the night. She left no footprints on the moss. She left only the echo of a song that would call another wanderer, another lost soul, to the same hidden grove on some future evening when the moon hung full and low. And Forrest waited, patient as ever, for the next man foolish enough to follow the music.